Consider that the first time we ever watched this show, the first time we ever saw Logan, he was having a birthday under much different circumstances. His kids were all there. Marcia was there. Now none of those people are here. It's very, very different. Like, it was a small dinner versus like this kind of party that he doesn't seem to be having a good time at all. It seems even more depressing now than it was back then. Logan is taking stock of the Gojo deal and all that he's accomplished, and he's working with Tom to acquire potentially another company, Pierce. The thing about Pierce, and I think I mentioned this in a previous episode of The Sweet Smell of Succession, but I think the Pierce acquisition, if I understand correctly, most closely mirrors the acquisition of the Wall Street Journal by Rupert Murdoch. And you can understand why Logan is fixated on it, because it's, think of like the Pierce news org as like the equivalent of Wall Street Journal, very well respected, very old school, very legacy media. And so he still has a bug up his ass about it.
Carrie calling herself friend, assistant, advisor
Yeah.
to Logan.
That's awesome.
I was like, sure, that's a summary of.
Well, I think what's awesome about that is that's clearly been workshopped. Like, it's clearly like, okay, people were asking us questions. It just makes things a lot easier if I introduce myself as friend, assistant, and advisor.
This is Carrie, Logan's
friend, assistant, and advisor.
Friend, assistant, and advisor.
I had some questions about the Marcia storyline during our preview episode, right? I was like, I said on the preview, I don't think the show's ever figured out what to do with Marcia. She's here, she's gone, she's here, she's gone. Now it seems like she might be gone. Like, there's a line about how she is shopping in Milan forever. So that is a character that went from, this is the biggest force the kids are up against, to literally she might not even be in this season at all. So a bunch of wasted potential, because I think Hayama Boss is like a pretty awesome actor. I think Logan is a more interesting character if the person he's with is Marcia as opposed to Carrie. Like, the boss is sleeping with his assistant. Like, we all have seen that like hundreds of times. Like, what is his and Marcia's relation? I would have loved to learn more about that, but instead she's off shopping in Milan forever. So that's a bummer.
I feel you there, that I miss that Marcia presence.
Yeah. It's sad that they didn't figure out what to do with her. Maybe they will. Maybe she's going to come in episode 3 and be a huge part of the rest of the season, but I don't think so. Logan becomes agitated at the lack of things to do and or people to yell at. So he leaves his own birthday party to go for a walk in Central Park, and then has a meal with Colin, his bodyguard / body person, in a diner. And they talk about the meaning of life. I thought it was very poignant and actually very sad.
Yeah.
Because I think the purpose of the scene, my interpretation is, Logan has no one else to talk about things with. Like, he has no one who he considers an equal, no one who he considers a friend, no friends, no children that, even Carrie, who he's probably still having an affair with. Like, he can't really talk to any of these people. So the closest thing he has to a friend is his bodyguard, Colin.
You're a good guy.
Thank you, sir.
It's just incredibly sad. It's just like a really sad scene. So,
Logan just struggles, like you're a good guy.
You're my pal.
You're my best pal. I was like, no, stop talking.
Yeah.
I was like, he's just saying thank you because you pay him to sit in front of you and say thank you or yes, sir, all day. Like, really just, showing how much Logan has isolated himself from like real humans who might care about him, because, as he says in the next breath,
what are people? They're economic units.
Of course you're lonely on your birthday, Logan.
I'm 100 feet tall. These people are pygmies.
And he talks about how, like, hey, he doesn't think there's anything after you die. Like, after you die, there's nothing.
Do you think there's anything afterwards? Afterwards?
He's got his fucking suspicions, though.
We don't know. We can't know.
Final scene with Logan. He is sitting alone and watching ATN like a miserable old person. He calls Sid and complains about the ATN host, but this is apparently the limits of his power now. He's just yelling at women over the phone about stuff that doesn't matter, because in the next iteration of the company, he's not going to be in charge anymore, or he'll be in charge of like a very small fiefdom. We don't exactly know how the deal is going to work out yet, but a very odd way to end the episode, I thought. Not in a bad way. It's just like it's just like ending with this shot of misery. You'd think this person who has built an empire and has everything you could ever want might have a modicum of happiness, but again, the show shows us that at the end of the day, nothing will make him happy. He's miserable. and his life is a disaster.
Yeah, I think it was really just us watching Logan in the very boring hell of his own making of like,
Yeah.
all right, I don't have anyone around me to yell at because I've scared them all off. I don't have anyone around to love me because I don't fucking love anyone else. And I'm just going to call up the one executive who I know might answer the phone and say some words and hear her say the same BS words back of like, yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, we'll cover it. But like in the same way that conversation with Colin was so like depressing and you could just tell like completely lacking an actual connection.
Yeah.
Him just barking orders at someone and then hearing what he wants to hear is like, yeah, a pretty sad picture of the life that he has built for himself here at the end of his twilight days. And Indeed. I don't feel bad for him.
You're not rooting for this one to succeed.
Nope.
Hey everyone, David Chen here. Thank you so much for watching that video from Decoding TV. If you want to get an audio version of the show, all you got to do is go to podcast.decodingtv.com. And if you want to support what we do, get ad-free episodes of the podcast and also bonus episodes of the podcast, go to decodingtv.com and become a paid member. Of course, you can also like and subscribe for more. We appreciate it. Thanks. See you later.